Hello, everyone. Welcome to the VGM Lounge. It's me. It's Derek.
And it is I, Matt. Hey, Derek, how's it going down there?
Oh, good. We're up in the bubbly clouds from Kirby Superstar today.
The bubbly cloud. Doo, doo, doo.
Yes, bubbly clouds, composed by the lovely Jun Ishikawa and Dan Miyakawa. To celebrate, we left the ocean, we climbed a mountain, and we've gone high above the mountain, and now we're in the sky.
Whoa, riding the winds.
Now, Matt, sky music. What kind of noise can we expect for this episode?
Windy.
Windy, yeah. This song certainly bubbly clouds. I think we're gonna expect some bubbly tunes. Woodwinds always give you that high sense. I've noticed, weirdly, guitars too are a trend in a few of my songs.
Yeah, guitars can definitely, because when it comes to the sky, it's either you're gonna have something like the bubbly clouds, or you're gonna have something where it's just like it's time to take off. It's just like, let's go to the sky kind of thing, and that sense of that running theme of adventure and exploration.
Yeah. Kind of remaining left over from those mountains, and also some leftovers from the travel episodes, because certainly sky vehicles would count.
Yeah, exactly. Sky vehicles. Another thing is sometimes they could be heavier because there's the chance of storms.
That's true. Yeah, storming kind of motifs would certainly fit up in this cloudy atmosphere.
And storm. When you think of storms, storms also vary. You could have high, heavy wind. Rain, thunder, lightning. Hell, even a blizzard is.
That's true. That's true. But how you feeling about this track right here, Matt?
I'm like bubbly clouds. It was a good choice to start off the episode.
We've talked about how Kirby music kind of just makes you smile, and this one certainly does that.
It does. There's never been a Kirby song that I've heard that hasn't made me just go, heh.
It's essentially exactly my feeling, and maybe sound effect that goes along with that.
Yeah. Even if it's like a boss battle thing, like Dynablade, just like, oh crap, it's Dynablade!
Oh, exactly. So I believe it is an even episode, so it is your turn to start us off.
It is my turn to start us off, and through that, I'm actually pretty excited about the one that I picked.
Which one? What is it?
So they're bringing back Digimon again.
Oh, back to the Digimon world.
Back to the Digimon. So specifically, this is the game Digimon World Next Order, which is actually very new. It came out on the PS4.
That's an interesting title.
It is. Sadly, I've not gotten to play this one yet, but it's been on my list. But through looking for through different Sky themes and stuff, I was like, I usually can find something from a Digimon game that'll be kind of like a surprise. This was when I was doing my searches. This was the first thing that popped up. Yeah. So I was just like, you know what? Let me check this out. And from that, I've heard a couple other songs after I listened to this one, and I really want to get this game because the music is pretty good.
We've had some rockin' beats reviews from the Digimon World series of games.
Yeah, exactly. They've got some surprisingly good tracks. Maybe if not through the whole game, but definitely I would say the later games definitely had a whole better full soundtrack.
Well, I'm excited to hear which one you picked.
So the song that I picked was Blue Sky, Big Step.
Interesting. Big step. I wonder where we're stepping.
We're taking that big step into the sky, taking off into flight. The next order was composed by Toshiyuki Kishi.
All right, well, let's take the step to the skies and hear that song.
All right, here we go. So this is Blue Sky Big Step from Digimon World Next Order by Toshiyuki Kishi.
I was enjoying that one, Matt, a lot. It was really, it really definitely held that adventurousness, and I like the little sparkle motifs throughout the song. Had a really good rhythm.
So I was really surprised by it, and I'm sad I haven't played this game yet.
Yeah, if the music's anything to go by, it certainly is like a step up in quality from. Not that the other Digimon World tracks we've heard weren't good, but I can really tell. The hardware at minimum has definitely really improved.
Oh, definitely. For me, like the full sound of it, if I wasn't told this is from a Digimon game, then I would have thought that it would have been from either some generic JRPG or like maybe from like some sort of like a mecha anime.
Yeah, I could certainly see
no,
that.
But I mean, no, it's it's like the feel that I get from it is, and the reason why I say mecha anime is because it reminds me of like some of the music from Eureka 7.
I could see that. Yeah. It's been a while since I've seen that show, but that I could see like the cruising through the air on the light rails kind of music going on here.
Yeah.
It's a good one. I really like this rhythm. I'm gonna have to download the song later. This is one I could certainly jam out to. It's got and it's got a great rhythm, and I love the instrumentation they use. How it just gives you that like playful, light-spirited adventure.
Yeah, I mean, and like through this part, and then there's like the slight builds, because it's just like, you know, especially like when the song like first starts, it's like, you know, it's the initial launch, like, you know, you're taking off, and you're like, you know, you're zooming out. I mean, I would assume when the song plays, it's probably like, you know, you're flying like a world map, kind of like maybe like an airship kind of deal, but maybe with like, you know, a Digimon.
That would make sense. I could, again, I know you haven't played this and I haven't played it, so we can only speculate to what the kind of music might sound like, but pretty much exactly what you described is what I was thinking, like a world map, you just unlock the ability to fly kind of deal.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's like this is the music that plays in like the cinema where you unlock it, and it's like the takeoff. Mm-hmm. Like you see like maybe something transforming, or they're just, you know, unveiling the ship or something like that.
I love the drums right there.
Mm-hmm. I love this guitar. This guitar's rocking. It's a good one, Matt. I enjoy this a lot. Thank you for it.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Alright, Matt, so I mean, you played a song from Digimon, and you're not quite sure if you're flying a ship or if you're flying a creature, right?
Yep.
So I'm going to kind of go along the creature route. I've played songs from SEIKEN DENSETSU 3, and you've enjoyed those. I think you particularly enjoyed the Booskaboo, if you remember him from our water episode.
Yep.
Now, the Sky song I actually picked is a boss theme. Now, this particular theme, so there's a point in the game where you have to fight basically the legendary Mono Beast. There's one of each element, right?
Yeah.
And the one you fight for air, because you have a flying creature before this point, and you can freely fly around the world map, because this is like right when you get it. Because it's like, cool, now the whole world map's open to you. Also, there's these like 8 creatures, and you got to go hunt them down and find them, and you can fly around freely and do them in whatever order you want. But now you can fly, and now you have these destinations. So the one for air, you actually fight it while you're flying on the back of your flying dragon. The whole boss fight is done on the back of your flying dragon.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And this theme's really cool. It's called High Tension Wire from SEIKEN DENSETSU 3, composed by Hiroki Kikuta. So here's a boss theme in the skies.
That was a pleasant one. I hearing that on its own, I would never have guessed that would have been like a boss theme for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, to me, you can definitely hear that, like, I hear both aspects. I do hear boss, and I also do hear, like, flying in the sky.
Yeah, definitely.
Because because, I mean, it's got that, like, that slap, that, the slap sound effect, the percussion, and the drum. And
Yeah.
that, like, driving rhythm is definitely, like, encounter sounding to me. But I really like my favorite part is the flute trill, the do 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 do
Yeah,
do
yeah, where
do.
it breaks and goes to the flute.
Yeah, I love that flute part. And this part, this intro, that certainly says boss to me. But yeah, then this part is like very, it's very light and airy as you'd expect from fighting an air boss.
It's very true.
I thought you'd particularly enjoy those slaps.
I do enjoy the slap.
This is the part I really like of the song. Anytime that pops in, and then this part right here. I don't know. This is just one that really like. It's really memorable to me because this boss fight's just so cool and completely different than like every other boss fight in the game. And you get this track with it, and the boss has a lot of health too. Like, it's a long, almost like 10-minute endeavor. But the fight's really cool because like it keeps changing phases, and like each phase has like a different camera angle of you riding on the dragon. There's like a top down, there's like a side view, there's like a diagonal view. It's crazy.
That's really cool. I like how it does. I like how it does that.
I think it's like each time you knock down a fourth of the boss's health, like the camera angle changes, and like his moveset changes just a little bit. But it's a really cool, really interesting fight. And you get this song during the whole time, and it's just awesome.
Again, I'm upset that I missed this one.
I mean, to be fair, this game did never necessarily come to America. Except very, very recently, in the past few years. Like, when I say past few years, I mean when Collection of Mana came out, like, this year. Is the only time, technically, legally, that Americans could play. But, I won't lie. Our friend Josh Lusk actually bought a reproduction cart, and we played it on an original hardware. And, I mean, I love the game. It's one I definitely want to play through again. And, as I said before, it's got 6 characters, and each character has 4 end classes. So, you pick 3 people, you can do one of their 4 end classes. It's got a lot of replayability because you're not going to be able to get to see all the classes in one run.
Well, I guess speaking of it, you said it was it just came out on the Collection of Mana.
Yes.
Right, that came out on the Switch, right?
It did indeed.
All right. Well, I'm definitely going to have to invest into that, but I think we should definitely invest our time into doing a playthrough.
I'm looking forward to it. It's one I really want to do.
Yeah. Is any of it remastered at all, or?
Yeah, actually, it's being re-released as like a full reworked, remastered game as the Trial of Mana, and it's coming out later this year.
Well, I can't wait to
the full version.
Well, all right. Yeah, I can't wait to hear what they've done to this song.
Oh yeah, this song and all the other ones I've played, because like as I said, I've played songs from this game before, and it's got such a good soundtrack. It came out right on the tail end of the Super Nintendo's life cycle, so the composers had a lot of experience and a lot of work on the hardware.
Oh yeah, they knew what they were doing.
All right, Matt. So I'm glad you enjoyed that one.
I did.
Where are we flying to this time?
Well, this time we're going to stick to the classic system of the SNES.
Can't go wrong.
No, you can't. All right, so sticking to classic system of the SNES, Derek, my next song comes to us from the great game Mega Man X.
Mega Man X and the X series and Mega Man in general is one of my favorite all-time series, and I apologize, everyone. I have not played enough songs from Mega Man. which is very unlike me because I jam out to Mega Man music quite regularly.
Quite regularly. So the song that I picked to go with this one is, of course, Storm Eagle.
One of my favorite tracks from the whole game. I love this music, this song.
It's a good track. It's a fun stage. I will say it was a little bit hard for me because when it comes to the Mega Man X series, 4 was the one that I started with, and so it was just like I almost went with Storm Owl from that game.
I myself have a Mega Man pick. We'll get to that next, and Storm Eagle was definitely very high on my list of ones to pick, and it's not the one I chose, so you'll get to hear which Mega Man track I chose after we play this one.
Excellent. I decided to go with the Storm Eagle just because I wanted to start with just start from the beginning from the X series, I guess, and just see start with the one that started it. So Storm Eagle made the cut.
All right.
So anyway, let's go ahead and get it started. So this is Storm Eagle stage from Mega Man X. That is composed by Makoto Tomozawa.
Yes, Storm Eagle's got that. It's got that rock to it. I really love the rhythm. I love how it does the ladder, kind of the stairwell thing that we've talked about in other songs, where it does the and it does that build.
Then, like right over that. Yeah, it's like a stairway down, but at the same time it still goes with the guitar over that.
Yeah, I mean this. I love the guitar, but two, it's something you don't really pay attention to while you're playing it, but I love that background little, like, almost electric-y sounding noise.
Oh, the
Yeah, it's got the
one that's
It kind
oh,
of
okay,
sounds
yeah,
like
yeah.
MegaMan charging in the background. But yeah, I love this.
Yeah,
I
I hear what you're talking about now.
I love this just general rhythm that.
Yeah, like I said, it was a little bit of a hard choice for me to choose between this and Storm Owl. Eagle definitely has, to me, the better theme.
Oh yeah, Storm Eagle's theme is amazing. I love it. Not that I'm going. Don't get me wrong. I definitely have nostalgia goggles here, but I think I'm willing to say that I think Mega Man X's music is a lot better than. I think the series music as a whole is amazing, but I think it does kind of get worse the farther into it gets. That's my personal opinion.
No, I'll agree with you on that.
Like X's music is so iconic and amazing, and 2 and 3 is really good. 4 is still alright. 5 and 6 aren't bad. I just think they're not as good, nearly as good as X and X2. Not to say the composer didn't do great work. I think the Mega Man X soundtrack is just so iconic and amazing.
Yeah, I'll say I'm a little. No. I'll save it. I'll save it for another time. But I love that part right there in the songs. This that to me that's just like I don't know. I just love how like driving that sound is.
I mean, yeah, Mega Man music is always it's got that driving, especially this stage. That it's yeah, there's that stairwell we were talking about.
Yeah.
It just loops straight down, and it holds with like no main rhythm. It just keeps that bass in the background, and then that lead comes back.
Yeah, the bass just keeps going.
I like how it when it does that stairwell down, the lead just kind of stops for like 20 seconds.
It's like, all right, man, chill, take a break. Okay.
It's like you've been going hard for a while. Man, I love me some Mega Man music. So that being said, man, I mentioned I have a track from a Mega Man game myself. It's been a while.
Do?
Yes. I should have played some on the water. I should have played some on the a lot of episodes, but you
missed your Duff McWhalen chance.
I did, or my Bubble Crab, or literally any of the water bosses. But hey, we're up in the
fresh crawfish.
We're up in the sky, and Storm Eagle's up in the sky for Mega Man X. But I'm gonna go the base numbered series, the not X. I'm gonna play a song from Mega Man 7. This is Cloudman's theme, because we're up in the. I was gonna be like, oh, okay, a regular series. All right, so that's gonna be Turbine Man. No, I was between Cloudman and Airman. Airman has a great theme. Very original, early Mega Man music. Oh yeah. But this is one of the more recent, not necessarily recent. This came out for the PlayStation 1, I believe. But Mega Man 7. This is Cloudman's theme. I think you're gonna like this one if you don't remember how it sounds, Matt. I do not remember how Cloudman goes. My mind is boggled with so many Mega Man themes, mostly from the X series. Yeah. I've always been more fond of the X series, but I love the originals too. Now, I don't know who exactly composed Cloudman, but Mega Man 7 in general is composed by Yuko Takahara, Toshihiko Horiyama, and Makoto Tomozawa.
I enjoyed Cloud Man. It reminded me a little bit of our opening, the bubble clouds.
Yeah, yeah. I think. I mean, I think that kind of sound is going to be common with a lot of sky and cloudy things.
I'll definitely say when if cloud is going to be a main part of it. I think it's gonna definitely gonna have more of that light bubbliness to it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, airy is a it certainly fits for a lot of reasons.
Airy, yeah.
I like that. I like the little rhythm to this one, and I like this little breakdown with the acoustic guitar kind of nylon.
All right, guys, what are we gonna do? Well, all right, so we do the airiness, the bubblies. Then what are we gonna follow it up with? How about we just do Seinfeld slap bass through the whole thing?
Do some slap bass, and do you got like a nylon guitar in there? After the slap bass, we'll do some slap bass. We'll keep this this synth going, but then I think we need some nylon guitar in there just for a little bit, like right here. It's very tinny, but in a good way. I enjoy it though. I mean, you can tell MEGAMAN 7, is later in the. It's not quite, NES sounding. It's certainly more modern instruments.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, I'll say for a MEGAMAN stage, it definitely sounds a little bit more lighthearted than normal.
Mm-hmm.
But it still has that fast pacedness to it, which, I mean, when you're playing through a MEGAMAN stage, it's going to be a fast paced thing.
Yeah, good old run and gun and jump and shoot.
Run, gun, jump, shoot.
What does MEGAMAN do? He does jump and shoot, and he moves forward. That's his power. His power is run and jump and shoot.
Run, jump, and move forward. Keep moving forward. Insert keep moving forward from, was it the Meet the Robinsons?
Yeah. Oh.
Jump, shoot, and keep moving forward. Thank you, Dr. Robinson.
Thank you very much for that. And thank you, MEGAMAN, for this for these past 2 jams we've had.
Oh yeah. I mean, we can rest assured that if we want a jam, MEGAMAN will be there.
Oh yeah.
This song kind of gives me a feeling of oh, you did it, you won the race.
I can certainly see that.
It's you holding up the trophy at the end of a race stage.
Oh jeez.
I did it.
We won. But yeah, we took that little foray into MEGAMAN. What series we going to next, Matt?
All right, so where we're going next is actually for me it was a boss battle. It's a boss battle theme.
Okay.
So the game I decided to pick for this song is Shadow of the Colossus.
Interesting.
Yes.
I have played this a long time ago. Basically when it first came out. And it's one I never owned. I just played through it. I believe a friend owned it. Or I rented it, I can't quite remember. So it's not one that the music is super memorable to me, just because I played it just the once, and it wasn't one I played through multiple times, so I can't really remember the soundtrack for it. So I'm excited to rehear this.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a classic game, and if you don't have it in your collection, go find it. You can find it for cheap these days.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, they've remastered it a couple of times, I want to say. I'm not sure I don't know if they remastered it for PS4. I know they remastered it for the PS3.
Well, what is the song from Shadow of the Colossus?
So the song I picked is called "A Despair-Filled Farewell: Battle with the Fifth Colossus, Avian."
That's quite the title.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, you can always just most people just call it Battle with the Fifth Colossus battle. this was actually probably one of the first songs that I thought of when it came to the Sky episode. Just because, like, I was thinking of, like, fights that happen in the sky, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, Shadow of the Colossus, there's literally a fight where one of the Colossi is like a flying bird that you have to try to find a way to get on.
Yeah, that tracks.
So I'm like,
let's hear that.
Let's go for it. All right, so yeah, I'll just shorten it up. So this is Despair-Filled Farewell from Shadow of the Colossus by Ko Otani.
All right, I can certainly see where that name got is a despair-filled farewell. That was a dark track, but intense.
That's a good fight theme though.
Oh yeah.
Like, I mean, there's a lot of pieces I like from it, but I really love the opening of the song, just the durr. You're like, oh crap, and you're like, oh dear, and then that's when you see the thing just show up, and you're just like, good God.
Yeah, let's just get right back into that because I'm excited to hear that opening again. Yeah, I love just the sheer size of the creature too. When it flies in, as you were mentioning, you're just like, oh my God, that thing's big.
Oh yeah, he big boy, and it's probably like one of the most frustrating battles in the game, next to like. I can't remember the name or what number Titan it was, or Colossus, but it was like, he was a small one, but he was like a little like bulldog thing, and he was really annoying. But this fight it had its difficulties because it would fly down like close to the ground at certain points, because I think it was like over a desert.
Yeah.
And like it would kind of like go into the sand a little bit, and like that was like your moment, because like the whole time you're like riding your horse trying to follow this thing around and waiting for that moment to where it dives down low enough for you to just be like, ah.
As you do in this game.
Yeah. Unlike most other ones where it's just like, okay, distract him, no, start climbing his leg. Yeah, I'm gonna get you this time.
I really like the speaking back to the music itself. I just the sheer magnitude and like intensity of the song.
Yeah, Right? I mean, it's just it's for me, it's a really really good track, and it wouldn't be me unless I had like a track that like this on an episode.
Yeah, I like how I mean, you don't always like. Granted, we talked at the start of the episode about how the theme is gonna sound in general, but I like when you pull these picks that like don't necessarily jive with that. Because if
well,
I
did state that there's also storms.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And storms are a heavier tone. Now this isn't this is clearly not like a storm, but I mean it is a huge force.
Yeah.
That is going against the player.
And I mean it certainly is obviously because that's the thing, we don't when we set our themes, we don't say they have to sound like this. We just say they have to be about this. So these are songs that are about the sky, and just because we played some light, bubbly, airy songs, that doesn't mean that the theme is light, bubbly, and airy. The theme is sky, and I like when you pull things that don't necessarily play well with the other songs, but in a great way. I really appreciate that.
Oh, you're quite well, because I mean, like we said, like I said earlier at the start, if you go up to someone and it's just like, hey. What do you think of whenever you think of music for the sky? And it's just like a lot of people, like you said, are going to think woodwind, so like a lot of flute, maybe a little bit of guitar, but then like I said, like I'll come up with a pick like that, and it's just like that doesn't fit any of that at all. But it's still a sky thing.
I bet you wouldn't think so, but I have a perfect follow up for that.
Oh.
Yeah, so you played, the song about a big monster in the sky, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna return to something that we haven't heard from in a while, but it's been popular with both you and me. Anytime I've played the songs from this, you remember Salif, the Village of Spores, Matt?
Oh man, is this another rockin' DFO?
This is another DFO track. It's been a while since I've gone back to it.
Yes.
The song
DFO is such good music.
The song I've got for you this time is so there's a section of the game where you're on the back or inside of basically this giant flying sky whale, and he has multiple dungeons like inside of him, or in like he's basically like got temples built throughout him, and the section Behemoth is basically all these dungeons dedicated to this flying sky whale. And I'm going to play you a song from that dungeon. This one in particular is called, the song itself is called White Night. N-I-G-H-T, not night, like nightly. But,
okay.
But yeah, the enemies in this dungeon are all like flying zeppelins.
Whoa.
Yeah, so you're fighting a bunch of, zeppelins while you're on a giant flying whale floating through the sky. And this dungeon has a neat little extra thing you can do. There's like basically like weak spots that are poking through the ground, and if you hit them, the whale lets out a roar, and suddenly the gravity basically goes crazy in your favor, because it's kind of like you hit him and he gets distracted and starts falling a little bit, so you can jump super high.
Oh.
Which lets you do some good aerial hits on these flying zeppelins.
Well, that's a really cool concept.
Yeah. So, without further ado, I'm going to play that song from DFO. It's White Night, and not a single composer. This is just, the only information I have is that most of the songs in this game are composed by the studio Doma. how'd you enjoy that DFO DNF track, Matt?
That one was really cool.
That's one I really enjoy. I love the guitar on that, and just the overall like jam and rhythm to it.
Yeah, for me, the guitar really sells the flight.
Mm-hmm.
It's just with the way the notes are struck is just the like with that. It's the triplets, but they go up in the scales.
Yeah, I like how they like they do the hold notes, the bing, and they always curl up at the end.
Yeah,
is what you're saying. And this song is very MEGAMAN sounding to me.
Oh, definitely.
It's super got that feel. I like this part right here where the guitar kind of chills for a minute. I really like this like more gentle rhythm too. And it's just like these drums and this gentle back rhythm on the synth.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Like, hey, man.
That one part right there. I think is my favorite little section in the song. And then when that guitar comes back, it sounds so good.
Yeah, like now it has like a little bit more of like it has like a little grunginess to it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it certainly does have that grunge, and then when it comes back with that guitar. And yeah, as I mentioned, you can see it in this picture I'm showing you, but let that play one more time. The boss to this dungeon is basically a giant black flying zeppelin with cannons.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I mean, it's not hard, it's simple, but still, this music in particular has always been one I was like really into when I played this game. Yeah, this right here is the part of the song that I really like. Don't get me wrong, I love that guitar, but this part right here is probably my favorite actually.
Yeah, it has. I mean, it's a nice lightness to it compared to the rest of the song.
Mm-hmm. And I like just when it gets back into it right here. that like. It's such a seamless transition. Like the composer did a really good job, like blending in that guitar. It doesn't sound like forced when it like re-enters or anything like that.
Yeah, it's not like, and it's not like trying to take over when it comes back. No, it still stays back a little bit.
Yeah, and the volume control is one thing that I really admire. Like the guitar is not overpowering in any way, shape. Like all of the instruments like are perfectly the perfect volume for this song.
Damn it.
I mean, yeah. It's a 1 minute 20-second long loop, and unfortunately, I don't have a good loop for it necessarily. But yeah, I hope I got all these great DFO tracks, and it's such a not well-known game in as far as music's considered, and I'm glad every time I can bring a good one out.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, they are a little far and in between, so hopefully we can start to pick out a couple more coming up in future episodes.
Whenever I can, whenever it's a good time.
The time must be right.
I mean, Skywhale was the right time. But do you have a song that can follow that, Matt?
I have a song. I don't know if it can really match DFO per se, but for me it's a good one. So I'm bringing back SPYRO.
All right, it took us like 12 episodes to play SPYRO, but SPYRO's been in every episode since.
Yeah, pretty much. But I keep finding tracks from different games at least.
I'm into it.
So far. So the SPYRO game I picked this time was I believe it was the first one that came out on the PS2 called SPYRO Enter the Dragonfly.
Okay.
The song that I picked is actually from a stage of the same name called Cloud 9.
That certainly sounds like it fits the theme. Let's hear how it sounds.
It definitely does. Yeah, so yeah, we'll go ahead and get into it, and I'll talk a little bit more when it's done. So again, this actually came to us once again from Stuart Copeland, but as well, it actually gave us two more composers who worked on the game, Kenneth Burgomaster and Peter Neff.
All right, take us to Cloud 9, Matt.
Get ready to. There's no way you can sleep to this track, but yeah, well, let's head on up to Cloud 9.
Elevator, take me to Cloud 9, please.
Hold on.
What floor are you going to? Cloud 9, please.
Cloud 9. Please, just straight to the top, Cloud 9. There you go, another great Spyro soundtrack.
I like that. It's got one of those, we've talked about kind of songs with almost a minimalist feel, and I think this one has that as well, but I really like the gentle notes that are in there. Like, obviously it keeps that driving melody, just the fast guitar and drums, but what I really like is the little bing, 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 the little
That's the acoustic guitar coming in.
Yeah. I really like that part of it. Like, that's what I mean when I say minimalistic. I don't mean bad. What I mean is like the part that is the melody to me is the few notes that are plucked here and there.
I gotcha.
Whereas like if you take some of the other songs we've heard that have had like constant driving melodies, this one I feel like the main melody is those like few notes in between.
I hear you on that one. I think I'll agree with you because like I like this little shuffling percussion sound right here.
Mm-hmm.
But I love it when the acoustic kicks in.
Yeah, I mean, if you were gonna hum the song, you wouldn't be humming the percussion. You'd be humming the acoustic.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be like, oh man, I love that. Yeah. That.
And then you have that synthesizer going a little wild in the background.
Oh yeah, every once in a while. We got a little bit of a background drum coming in too. It's very, very light. Or background bass, rather.
Yeah. And then you have the little chimes kicking in now.
It's one of those songs that builds. That would be an interesting concept for a show at a later point, Matt. An episode that's all about building songs.
Yeah.
Kind of like this, where they start out with little rhythm, and they add an instrument, and they add an instrument, and they add another instrument, and suddenly they've got this whole thing going on.
Yeah, I definitely have to do probably a little bit more in-depth research than I normally do.
Yeah, that'll be a more complicated episode to get some songs for, but yeah, I really like the acoustic on this. And there's that random, like, I don't even know what instrument that was, but they're like,
yeah, like that only comes in every so often. It's not a constantly used thing.
No, but this is another one I really enjoyed the instrumentation on it, where they picked there are a lot of instruments at work here, and I think all of them are perfectly placed.
Yeah, cause, I mean, especially when the song first starts off, you're not expecting that acoustics to just be like, here it is, like you're just you're just there with that shuffling percussion. You're like, okay, so it's just going to be like probably the whole way through, and then when that acoustic first kicks in, you're just like, oh well, nope, there it is.
There we go.
That's it. That's the song.
That song reminded me a lot of Aquaria Towers, but it had a similar feel to it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean it's SPYRO. It's going to have a little bit of similarity to it. I have a song, and boy, is it a song! I'll tell you what that song is. That song that I will play.
That song is it's going to be from a game we've heard during our travel episode.
Oh, it feels like forever ago.
Right? It was just a few. I played a song from Pilot Wings. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do. Let me guess. Did you choose Pilot Wings 64?
I did not. I chose Pilot Wings Resort, but this song is...
Damn.
Pilot Wings Resort, and last time I played the plane theme, this time I'm going to play the hang glider.
Which is a different method of flight.
It is a different method of flight. You certainly use this in the sky. I would be confused if you were using it elsewhere.
You don't use yours in the water?
I mean, yeah, duh. Haven't you ever hang glided before?
I mean, what I typically do, what I've typically seen in, ye old countryside is they'll typically hitch it up to their plowing animal.
Yes. Yes.
And so, like, the animal will start, to take off, to start to, plow the fields, and then you get to hang back a little bit and
that's right.
survey to make sure everything goes good.
Oh, jeez. But Matt, I think you're gonna like this one. It's got a really good, got a great rhythm to it, great groove. Asuka Ito did this song, and we're gonna take you to the resort, the Pilot Wings Resort, and just kind of let you glide along the air on a hang glider. Enjoy the sights.
Well, I will enjoy the experience of listening to it through this song. I, however, have a fear of heights, so
yeah, I mean,
so I'm gonna live my life as I do by imagining what this is going to be like.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be hang gliding anytime soon, but if I was going to, I would certainly play this song, and you'll hear why in just a moment. Here we go.
It was very peaceful, Derek.
Yes, I really love the
That's
groove
how
for
I
that
liked
one.
it. I was like, oh, okay, yeah. I mean, I could definitely see how some people would definitely take this as, hang gliding theme music and stuff like that. But for me, it'd probably be a little bit more of a panic attack. But that's just me.
Yeah, I could get that. I personally don't think I would want to hang glide per myself. I don't. I wouldn't say I have a fear of heights, but more of like a. I just
A
no.
fear of falling.
But this song is great.
It really is. Like, and to be honest, it kind of like, for me, it has like an Animal Crossing kind of calmness to it.
Yes, I could certainly hear some Animal Crossing. But I love this. We've been all about some good acoustics this episode, haven't we?
Yeah, we have actually.
I love that acoustic jam right there. That slow. And then this little. It kind of comes back with some more instruments here. This. That's just a tasty rhythm right there.
All right, welcome to the Pilot Wings Resort. But you didn't come here to play, flying a plane simulation. You want to do hang gliding simulation. Like, I guess, and then they treat you to this jam, and you're just like, man, all I'm missing is Kenny G.
Yeah. I just love the little gentle rhythm to this, but it's
very nice. It really is.
It's another kind of one of those minimalistic ones where doesn't have too much going on, but I love what it does have going on. It's another one where I really like the instrumentation choice. Just every little part of the song is done well. I'm all about that acoustic little riff in there.
Yeah, I like the very soft flute going through it.
Mm-hmm. Pilot Wings has some great music, and I'm
glad surprisingly.
I mean, if I'm just gonna play a game where I cruise around an island and do some little mini games, I'm glad I have this good music to enjoy it too.
Okay, precisely. All right, so I guess we got to go on to me now.
It is you next. We had a nice little gentle one. I apologize. I realized I wasn't really talking over the music too much there. I was kind of just enjoying the gentle rhythm.
I was the same way. I mean, like the entire time I was listening to it, before our chat, I was just like, man, this is like,
It's a nice one to just like close your eyes to and just kind of lightly bob your head. Just.
And the winner goes to Lo-Fi Anime Beats Study to.
Lo-fi Pilot Wings Resort Hang Glider.
Lo-Fi Pilot Wings Hang Glider Resort.
All right, Matt. You got a more pumped one for us next? We've kind of fallen asleep over here with some relaxed tunes.
I do, Derek. So we're gonna get off the hang glider, and instead we're gonna hop on the back of my new Pokemon here. Come on over, meet my good buddies, Latios and Latias. They said they're gonna give us a ride. So the song that I picked this time for my Pokemon pick of the week is from Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire,
Okay.
and it is "Soar in the Sky" daytime music. It's the post game. It's a post game. Once you actually have you've caught Latios and Latias, and you've done that little side story, you actually get to instead of like doing like the normal fly mechanic in the game, you can hop on to the back of one of them, and like you can literally just like soar around all of Hoenn, like on the Pokemon.
Which was super cool, may I add.
Yeah, it was really cool because like it was like like jet stream, like you're going like really fast. It was like really cool.
Well, let's hear that because it was a really cool part of the game, and I don't super remember the music that played when you did this. So let's get into this Pokemon theme.
Okay, so this is Soaring the Sky Daytime from Pokemon Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire by Junichi Masuda.
We're back to that adventure feel.
Oh yeah, I mean, because I mean, it's yeah, you've already explored Hoenn, but I mean, this I think even when you did this, like it opened like additional areas that you could find while doing this soaring method.
I'm sure. I can't remember too well. Uh, it's just a for some reason I don't remember. I remember getting this in the game, and I don't remember much after that. I don't know why. But I love the rhythm to it. I really enjoyed like I said, it's definitely returning to that adventure feeling that we had earlier. I really enjoy how this one kind of focuses on more of a piano feel.
Yeah. Which is another wonderful string instrument.
It's like that, and like the background drums are almost like it's kind of got like a very quick, almost like march to it, but not quite. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, they're a constant driving, but they're very toned down enough to make sure that
it's not overpowering.
It's not overpowering. You can hear the trumpets. You can hear the keys of the piano very well.
Yeah.
But they're keeping that steady rhythm going of this excitement, this driving force that you're now behind.
Yeah, I like that. It brings me back to the one song that I was mentioning, how I really like the volume control. This song does that really well too, where like you said, the drums are just in the background, just enough to like keep that feeling, but not to like overpower you. They really want to have you focus on that piano.
And there's even like a break in that drum line. When it gets to like a little softer part, the drums are immediately they almost like kind of meld into a cymbal clash that just like and then like the drums stop, and then it's a little bit more of that piano going through, and then it comes back into it again.
Mm-hmm. This is a great flying track. I wasn't sure what you do from Pokemon, but this fits very well, and I enjoy it a lot.
Yeah, it's definitely the one that I will say it popped up first. And I was just like, okay, I'll save that on the back burner. Let me do a little bit more research and see if this is definitely the one I want to go with. And I did find a couple other ones, but I kept coming back to this one just because of how much I really enjoy it.
Well, thank you. Thank you for it. Yeah, I like that. I like the little da-da, that quick riff before it like picks back up.
Yeah.
Well, you played me a very good just cruising around the world music, and I've got my own one of my favorite cruising around the world musics, Matt.
Oh.
Yeah, this is one that I held off playing on our travel episode just because I had a few I wanted to play on that episode in particular. But this is one of my all-time favorite flying around the world map kind of songs.
And
well, I mentioned
what's it from?
It's from Chrono Trigger, Matt.
Oh my God! It's the Epoch.
It's the Epoch or Epic. The Wings of Time.
Epoch, Epic. What is the correct way of saying it? Is it Epoch?
I believe it's Epic because that's the measure of time, but I've always, I played this game when I was like 4 or 5, I've always called it the Epoch, and I can't break out of it. But yes, it's the Epoch, the Epic, The Wings of Time, composed by Yasunori Mitsuda. This is one of my all-time favorite flying tracks. This song plays, you get a vehicle that's capable of traveling through time, and then it gets remodeled into having wings, and then it can, soar around the world map and fly through time. And it's probably one of the coolest vehicles, like, in a video game. But it has one of my all-time favorite, like, just travel music. And it's one I held off on the travel episode just because, as I said, I had ones I wanted to play. But I held this for the upcoming Sky episode because this is just one of the best flying around the sky musics, in my opinion.
I'll agree with that statement. Let's go ahead and we're running short on time, so we got to make time for this one.
Oh yeah, let's speed through time. The Wings of Time from Chrono Trigger by Yasunori Mitsuda. Man, real talk, that is honestly one of my all-time favorite video game just tracks in general.
I mean, if you grew up through the Super Nintendo era, you had one, and you had Chrono Trigger. I mean, this is definitely going to be a song that is in your memory. It'll hit you with nostalgia like a ton of brick.
Even nostalgia aside, like the general rhythm, the this intro, the instruments that are used, then the general sound to it, it's just a good track. Like this part right here, the it's such a good sounding track overall, and I love the instruments that are used. And
I bet you I could find some sheet music with this, and I bet you that main instrument that's played is a saxophone.
Yeah, it's not like it's an interest. It's not like it doesn't sound exactly like a saxophone. It's a little bit different, but I really just love that main instrument. And then there's all the little things like the drums, little twinkles in there, the piano touches, and then this part right here. Just everything about the way this song is composed, it's just a delight to listen to. And it's a long song too. It doesn't loop for a while. Like it's just
yeah, which is very nice. I mean, and it's that wasn't necessarily a common thing for older games. Because typically older games just had a little bit of a shorter loop.
Usually like 20 to 30 seconds, but this is like a full almost 2 minutes before it hits that loop point.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like it's not repetitive at all sounding. Like there isn't I don't think there's a single 10-second period of the track that's repeated.
No.
And that saxophone just does it for me. And I know you personally love you some saxophone.
I do. I really do.
And how could you not like this song? Like I said, it's obviously this one came to my mind in travel. How could it not? But I chose to not play it for the travel episode, but it came around again for the Sky episode, and I was like, I can't not play this one.
You had your first chance. You decided to hold back on it, and now, the opportunity came up again, and you're just like, well, no, that's it. It's got to be. It's now or never.
Yeah. Well, the problem for me is, there's. I think that's the reason I've been sleeping on a lot of Chrono Trigger and Earthbound and MEGAMAN music, is because those games are so obvious choices to me that I almost don't want to play them, because I know people have heard this song. If you listen to video game music and you haven't heard this song, I would be a little confused. But
yeah.
But I mean, that doesn't mean in a way it makes me not want to play it. But at the same time, it's one of my favorite video game tracks. So how could I not play it?
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Absolutely wonderful Traveling the Skies theme.
All right, Derek. My next song comes from another one of our favorite multiplayer games. Now, sadly, I don't think we ever actually got to do this fight together. Just because of that's the sad part, is we never did this fight together. But this song actually has 2 parts, and I chose the second half. The first half is more of the calm, and the second half is more of the storm.
Okay. There's a few things that come to mind, but tell me what song you're talking about.
The song that I'm talking about is the battle theme for Amatsu Magatsuchi from Monster Hunter Generations.
Ah, yes. This is an interesting pick, and it definitely 100% fits.
This is I actually thought about Amatsu probably second when I thought about the Sky theme. because I mean it is it is a monster that you fight. It's constantly flying, basically. Well, I say flying. I use that term loosely. It's more or less swimming through the sky.
It basically creates storms and swims through the air currents. It's basically the ruler of the skies. So I mean, if ever sky was an appropriate genre to play it's certainly this monster.
It is, and for when I thought of it, I for a split second I was like, well, Rathlos is considered king of the skies, but I feel like Amatsu probably takes a little bit more of a command from that.
Yeah, certainly.
Then this isn't the first time Amatsu has shown up in the series, of course. We'll talk a little bit more about it once we hear it. But so let's go ahead and get right into it. So this is the second phase of the Amatsu Magatsuchi battle from Monster Hunter Generations, composed by Ryo Yuratani. So there you go, Derek. How did you enjoy this portion of the Amatsu fight?
I really like it. Let me just get back into it. It's very because this is one of the. This monster didn't originate in Generations. He originated in Portable Third, and was kind of like the flagship big bad of this game, where the game basically opens with your ship getting knocked out of the sky, and you see it, and you're like, oh geez, what is that thing? And a lot of the story has to do with this legendary creature, and it's one of the most fierce creatures in the Monster Hunter universe. And even in Generations, it's one of the last things you get to fight. just because it's like so very like strong.
Mhm.
And this track really conveys the power of this creature, I think.
It does, because like I said, there's two different parts to the song. This is the second part, obviously. The first part is more calmer, but I figured the Lord of the Skies needs to have the more storm aspect to be played on this episode.
Yeah, and that certainly goes along with the skies and storms, and sky, as we talked, skies aren't just like the bubbly happy-go-lucky. Sometimes they've got this angry power to them.
Yeah, I mean, this is like you said earlier. This is a creature that conjures storms and swims through tornadoes to travel.
Yeah, which is certainly intense. It's
now, ironically, I guess I also could have played Kushala Daora as well, but
Yeah.
again, I mean, not too many people know of Amatsu.
Yeah,
Especially if anyone newer to the fan base with Monster Hunter World all out.
Yeah, Amatsu has only been in a few games, and it's usually very late into the game. So if you're not particularly skilled, you might never even see this monster, even if you play the game for 50 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, I was very happy that they decided to bring it back for Cross or Generations, as it was called, stateside.
Mm-hmm. Because I think that was the first time you got to experience the monster, isn't it?
It was. I never got to play like 3 portable or. I think literally my first Monster Hunter is when they decided to go for the DS, and it was 3 Ultimate.
Mm-hmm. That was a lot of people's first introduction to the series, and
Yeah.
there's still monsters that have been in past games that still haven't come back, but most of them have. But I'm glad you got to experience Amatsu. It's a very, very interesting creature, and out of all the ones you could have picked for the sky, I'm glad this is the one you chose for this episode for Monster Hunter.
Yeah, hopefully I can find a good one for a future theme.
We'll have that eventual Monster Hunter focus.
Monster Hunter focus.
Well, Matt, I'm gonna change it up. I'm not necessarily gonna do the follow me this time.
Okay.
I'm gonna play you a song with a fun track title name. I've always thought it was a little interesting. I'm gonna play you a town theme.
A town theme.
Yes, the Nimbus Land town theme from Mario RPG.
Oh snap! I haven't. It's been a little bit since we heard some Mario RPG.
Yeah, this is there is a town that's basically in the clouds, and every resident is a little cloud person. They're a little poof with pants, and poof with pants. The actual name of the track is "Let's Do the Fuka Fuka." Not sure why that's the track title, but that's the track title. This is the theme to Nimbus Land from Mario RPG, a game composed by Yoko Shimomura. Who,
Alrighty, well,
we've heard from Yoko Shimomura quite a few times.
Oh yeah, definitely. And there's going to be no lack of that in the future.
But yeah, it's a whole town of cloud people. So I wanted to kind of mix up the obviously the genre is sky, but I wanted to kind of mix up the format in which the sky is presented to you. So this is a town theme.
Well, I am excited.
All right, Matt, let's do the Fuka Fuka.
Do the Fuka Fuka. Come on, everybody, let's do the Fuka Fuka.
There we go, Matt. Nimbus Land. From Super Mario RPG.
That one did me the happy.
Right? That's another kind of just little fun, airy, lighthearted, breezy track.
No doubt on that one. I mean, I love the flute. How it's just like it's. I mean, that's the main instrument throughout the whole thing.
It's funny. We mentioned that woodwinds would be prevalent, but I think this is the first song of the whole episode that's had woodwinds.
Yeah.
We apparently didn't follow through on that one very well.
Whoopsie doodle.
But I mean, it's interesting because we heard a lot of woodwinds on the mountain episode because they kind of give you the feeling of being up high.
Yeah.
And this song certainly gives you that. It gives you that, like, floaty, kind of airy feeling.
It does. I like the little build-up right here. It's just like...
Yeah, the little mini staircase.
All right, this is a nice little build. It's just like then, like, you know, they all get shoved out of the way, and the flute's just
Flute's back.
Guess what? It's flute time.
Times, yeah. The other instrument's like a kind of a violin, but it's like not quite.
It's definitely a string.
Cello.
It's a
maybe like a plucked cello or something.
Maybe not as big as a cello. I can't remember the name of it right now.
Yeah, it's something in that family, certainly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really love just the flute guy going hard on this one. I love any time the other instruments try to get their turn, and the flute guy's like, no, me.
Come on, man.
It's like, can you stop soloing? This is the song.
Apparently not.
This is the song when you're in the band and the one guy is just like, I'm just gonna solo on this part like 5 times if that's cool.
Yo, you guys good with me just doing this? I mean, we'd like to have our turns.
Like, yeah, you can. Like, here you go. You can have this little part.
Okay, yeah, you want your turn?
I'm back. The flute comes like back and like steals the thunder of the other instruments. It like literally repeats their refrain. It's like, now I'm louder than you. But as you said, this is one of those tracks that just make you smile. This part of the game too it's very entertaining, and I enjoy it. It's got the Kirby feel, that smile, happy-go-lucky feel.
It does.
Well, there you go. That was Mario RPG.
Such a timeless classic.
Indeed.
All right, Derek. So my next song comes to us from a game we have not heard from yet.
Ooh.
I know, and I've been waiting to use this one. I thought about using it in the travel episode, but I'm glad I waited until we had the Sky episode because now I can't ignore it.
It honestly sounds like you're describing my next track, but let me hear what you're thinking, and I could basically copy and paste the words that you just said for my next track, so I want to see what you're doing.
So the game that I picked is Skies of Arcadia.
Okay.
Now, I didn't get to play this game that much. One of our friends, Jed, he actually had I think it was like the remake for it that came out on the GameCube.
Mm-hmm.
And he happened across that at like a cheap sale once, and he's just like, dude, you gotta check this game out, because I mean it's basically you are in charge of, like, you know, your own little pirate airship, and you're just flying around from Sky Island to Sky Island.
I know exactly what you're talking about. This is much like you said. This is a game I've never played myself, but I have seen it and I've heard of it, and it looked very interesting. Yeah,
the original actually came out on the the Sega Dreamcast, I believe. Yeah, but the song that I picked from it is it's a very simple title. It's just "Let's Go."
That's a
And
direct title.
yep. So imagine all right, it's time. We gotta ship off to our next destination. Let's go. So actually, there's two composers for Skies of Arcadia. There's Yutaka Minobe and Tatsuyuki Maeda.
All right, man. Well, let's go.
Let's go from Skies of Arcadia.
That one was certainly adventurous, Matt.
Oh yeah, I mean it's definitely an adventurous game because, like I said, I mean it's you get in your airship and I mean you travel the skies, hunting for treasure basically.
Yeah, it's basically Sky Pirates the game, right?
Sky Pirates the game. I mean, what more can you ask for?
I like the it's very cinematic opening right there.
It is with that nice like drum going that percussion like kind of just rising up into it.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's this has that this sounds like it would be like a world map airship theme right here, which is probably very similar to what it is.
Yeah, and actually it's a very short loop song. But this is the obviously the extended version that I found, which I was happy that it was a decent quality.
Yeah. I like that there, the da-na-na-na part. It's got a really good build up into it to that resolution right there.
Yeah, I like that one part that kind of comes in through the middle where it's kind of in the middle of everything. It's just and then it's like the cymbal clash.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the part I was talking about. Right here, it's that building part.
Yeah.
It does that building refrain, I think, like 3 times. Right into that and it kind of loops right there. That is a nice, well-composed loop part.
Yeah, I was saying, like, listening to this music, blind and, wiping my memory of, like, what it is actually from. Yeah, I can almost see this played to, like, some sort of, like, a tactical game. I can almost hear the song in Final Fantasy Tactics.
Yeah, I could see that. When you said tactical game, I was thinking more of like kind of like a tutorial on like a Valkyria game.
Ooh, yeah.
Not like a really heavy, intense mission of a tutorial of a tactical game, but more of like you're getting new allies and you're learning like the ropes of this new game's combat system. That's kind of the feel I'm getting here.
Yeah. God, I gotta play that game again. Listen, I love Valkyria Chronicles. I love the battle systems just so much.
It's really unique and fun and interesting.
I just need to make like a medieval fantasy version of it, and my life will be set.
I'm telling you, Matt, you really got to get into some Fire Emblem.
Well, yeah, I mean, I know that's basically like Fire Emblem, but I mean, like, just imagine Fire Emblem with, like, the combat system of Valkyria Chronicles.
Yeah, no, I got you. It would be a more interesting, like a grittier version.
Yeah, because, I mean, both games have they died, start over.
Yeah. But, yeah, Skies of Arcadia is not a game I've played, but,
I doubt many people have or even heard of it, which is why I was happy to remember it.
Yeah.
Because I would love to see this game make a comeback again.
That would be really interesting. I'll have to go back and maybe check this game out. Because the way you described it sounded very, very cool.
Oh, it is. I can't remember too much about the battle system. But I'm pretty sure just send Jed a message out of the blue one day and be like, "Hey, how was Skies of Arcadia?"
I'm sure he'd go off.
Oh yeah, he would.
So Matt, I told you that basically the way you described this, where it's something that you wanted to play in the travel episode, but you didn't get to it, and now that we're in the Sky episode, it fits and you've got to play it.
Mm-hmm.
Said I can basically copy paste that for my next track.
Yeah.
The small difference is we have heard from this on one other episode.
Okay.
So it's not brand new, but it's certainly one. I had the same song on my list for the travel episode, much like the Chrono Trigger one, but I just chose to not play it. Just to hold it off. Because I felt it fit Sky just a little bit more. Have you played Shovel Knight, Matt?
I actually have not played Shovel Knight yet, and I know that's bad of me to say. But it's just I gotta find time.
Yeah, I get that. So the song I want to play is from Shovel Knight. It's High Above the Land, the Flying Machine, or also Propeller Knight. I think you're really gonna like this one, Matt. It's really Shovel Knight's got some of the best chiptune music I've ever heard. Part of this game was composed by one of the MEGAMAN composers, which is why this game sounds so very chiptune MEGAMAN.
Oh snap!
Yeah. Now, Shovel Knight's mostly done by Jake Kaufman, but also some work by Manami Matsume, who worked on some MEGAMAN games.
All right.
So without further ado, let's let you listen to the High Above the Land / Flying Machine also / Propeller Knight theme.
So many themes.
Yeah. But here we go. Let's dig into the sky, I guess.
Let's go ahead and just start tunneling straight up into the sky. Oh man, I was totally jamming out to that one.
Right? I love the general rhythm to that one.
The general rhythm to that is definitely like my favorite part of it. I do enjoy how like in the beginning of it and leading up into like where that rhythm first starts to really kick in. It's just like like man like what is this going to be? Like what's going on here?
Yeah, it's just like a little mysterious right here. But then this part,
like, oh, okay. Yeah, like I really love this part.
It's so very Mega Man, but I mean, it's designed to sound like Mega Man. I love that, like that main rhythm to the song. It's one of my favorite songs in this game, and mind you, the whole game is music. If you haven't checked out Shovel Knight, not just you, Matt, but any of our listeners, definitely do it. It's a wonderful indie game.
It's definitely on my list to check out, especially now that I have the Switch. It'd be perfect.
It's a perfect Switch game, yeah. I love how it does that little part right there where it's not the same rhythm. It switches it up just a little bit. Did you notice that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. I'll let it play through to that part again, but it has the main rhythm, but when it repeats it, it does it with a different instrument, and it just slightly switches some of the octaves. And the notes don't follow the exact same pattern. It's an interesting thing that the composer did to kind of keep you guessing as the song plays, which is really interesting. Because here's that repeat back to that mystery part. That part where you're saying in the opening where you're like, oh, what's gonna happen? And listen when it repeats that the next time, it doesn't do it the same. This part will. So for the first repeat, it's the same, but when it gets into the second half, it mixes it up just a little bit. Cause you hear it's on like a higher octave now.
Mm-hmm. All right, yeah.
Yeah. And the whole rhythm to it actually changes just a little bit. And when it loops back to that rhythm that starts it off, you listen right here. It's a little bit different at the end.
Oh yeah, yeah, it was a different little flourish right there on it.
Yeah, it does a little trill that's different than the main rhythm. And it's kind of it's not a different instrument because obviously it's all synth, but the instrument that's like kind of trying to convey is a slightly different one. But really, I just love this song. It's got a lot of interesting little complexities to it that you wouldn't expect when you first listen to it.
No, not at all. I mean, because like I said, like I still really enjoy the transition from like how it starts into the rhythm, because it's just like it's like you said, it's the mystery of it. You're just like, okay, where's the song gonna go? And then it just like it kicks in, and
yeah, this little part right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shovel Knight has great music, and that right there, the High Above the Land, is one of my favorite tracks from the game.
Well, Derek,
it's getting
it's
there,
that
man.
time.
It's not quite that time. We've got your final track first.
That's true. Well, it's that time for me.
It's come to the close for you.
It's come to my closer. Finishing off my set. I'm actually going to stick with not only a game that is on the Switch, but also another indie game.
Okay, yeah, indie games have some great soundtracks lately. The past few, I would say 5 or so years have been really good for indie games.
Oh, definitely. I mean, there's been a lot of really good indie games that have just come out that, you know, I mean, especially for me, fill like a void in like, you know, our one of my favorite genres, like the Metroidvania style.
Absolutely.
There's not like a lot of mainstream coming out for it that much right now. So, I mean, I can always depend on my wonderful indie gamers to be like, hey, here's a game that kind of plays like that.
Hollow Knight was a fantastic recent Metro. Well, not even necessarily recent, but past few years, Metroidvania that I adored.
Yes, great music from that game as well. So anyway, the indie game that I picked to end off my set today is a game called Freedom Planet.
Okay, I'm not familiar with this, but do go on.
Yeah, so it's so the game is called Freedom Planet, and the song title is called Sky Battalion. Now, Freedom Planet is it's a platformer game with characters reminiscent of your standard Sonic styled characters.
Okay.
So it's like kind of like a regular jump platformer game, also with like a little bit of the kind of gotta go fast segments of stages.
Very interesting. Yeah, I'm not familiar with this title or any of the music, so I'm looking forward to. What is the track title?
The track title is Sky Battalion.
Okay. I mean, that's can't be more sky than having sky in its name.
Right? I mean, that's as close as you're going to get, I guess. So, well, let's go ahead and get into it, and we'll do our normal thing afterwards. So this is Sky Battalion from the game Freedom Planet by Lillian Wilson.
There's another indie title that kind of almost had a Mega Man feel to it, just a little bit.
It definitely does. It has like a Mega Man or like was it like the Sonic and was it Sonic 3?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny because they're two very different genres and very different like sounds for composers, but the game this sounds kind of like both of them. It kind of sounds like if you were to combine Mega Man music and Sonic music, and you'd get something that's close to this, I think.
Yeah, which I think is kind of like how the gameplay kind of works. It's like you have like the Sonic stages where it's like you got to go fast, but then you have like the jump shoot of Mega Man also thrown in there.
That sounds fun. It's a game I literally haven't even heard this name until you mentioned it.
I actually came across it when I was searching for games when I first got the Switch. And it popped up in there.
Good games, just to want to say that for starters. But yeah, I mean, it's a shame that, like, I mean, obviously people who have even remotely heard of indie games have heard of Shovel Knight, Hollow Knight, and like those two in particular really made a huge like shake in the indie game like culture and waters, which thank God for them, because I think that really stirred up like interest for indie games. But it's a shame that I've never even heard of this before.
Yeah, it's on my list because I want to try it out and see how the whole thing is.
It's got great music, I can tell you that much.
Oh yeah, like I like those little like the those things.
Yeah.
But I think one of my favorite parts in the song is where like it kind of like backs off a little bit and it's just the and that's like
intense.
Yeah, it's that one part that I just spoke of. It like that's the part that kind of reminds me a lot of like the MEGAMAN.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this part right here also does as well, but
this reminds me of more recent MEGAMAN, like MEGAMAN 5 or 6. They have this kind of like sound to them, and in particular, like there's a few stages that make you like drive on one of like the speed bike things. I can't think of what they're actually called, but this is what it really reminds me of, like 100%.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely just like you can tell that they clearly took inspiration from the Mega Man X series. This is the part. I love that part.
Oh yeah, that part's so good.
But yeah, you clearly tell the inspiration behind this music, and like when you look at the game, like you see all the inspiration just like clashing together, like, or not clashing, but coming together, and you're just like, okay, I'm ready to give this a shot because I love both the things that they're trying to show me right here.
I'm gonna have to check it out. You said it was called Freedom Planet, yeah?
Freedom Planet.
I'll have to look into that, because I mean, I like video game music, and this right here is kind of selling me on it, and I haven't even seen the gameplay yet. I'm definitely enjoying that. Yes, that was definitely a good one. Thank you for that, Matt. It was something I've literally never heard of, and wouldn't have heard it if it wasn't for you. That being said, you've somehow given me a perfect segue, Matt.
Oh, cool.
Because you know, if it wasn't for you and you and me specifically doing this podcast right here, this is a game I would have never heard of.
Yeah.
So you know, that being said, I want to thank you, Matt, for queuing me in on this game and this music, and I want to thank all the people listening, because I'm sure this is probably something you haven't heard, and I'm sure at least one or two of these songs or games or things that you've never heard. I hope you look into some of these ones that we've mentioned, and you know, if there's some great titles that have some awesome Sky music, tell us, because I'm sure you've played some games that I've never heard of and that Matt has never heard of. And
that's true.
Yeah. Just tell us one that you really like, that you're like, hey, this is a game you might not have heard of. It's got a really good Sky track, and check it out. And we will happily do so, and maybe play it on a future episode.
Oh yeah, please, yeah. Drop us any comments anytime.
And tell us what your favorite track of the episode was. There's a lot of good ones. I don't know how to pick a favorite from this one, because there wasn't a Triceratops trot this episode, but there was a lot of really good ones. That there wasn't like my decisive favorite for the episode, but we had a lot of really good jams. I was grooving this whole episode.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this one we played both sides of the card. We gave you the bubbly clouds, and then we also gave you the rush of the storm.
Yeah, and we played some some travel, flying, cruising the continent, some exploring a resort. But I'm gonna go for my final track of the episode. I'm gonna go one more unexplored venture. It's a game I've played before, one of my all-time favorites. It's a puzzle game, Matt. Do you have a guess?
Is it Tetris Attack?
It is Tetris Attack. This is the
Yes.
Lakitu Breeze stage. This is technically the first stage you do if you're playing the story mode. But this game is composed by Yuka Tsujiyoko, and this is kind of another not very well-known game. You know, everyone's heard of Tetris, obviously, but there's not many people who have heard or know of or have ever actually played Tetris Attack.
Yeah, not too many people know the Tetris Attack.
But it's a super fun puzzle game. The American version, Tetris Attack, is kind of designed around Yoshi's Island characters. So this is the stage for Lakitu. Now the original game is Panel de Pan and has nothing to do with Yoshi's Island or Mario characters or Tetris in general. They kind of just branded it Tetris Attack because Tetris was a common puzzle game and this is a puzzle versus game, so they were like, well, let's just call it Tetris Attack.
But what about these characters? We got no one's gonna know who these characters are. Yoshi.
Yoshi's cool. Do him.
Yoshi's cool.
And the game has also been rebranded later as a Pokemon Planet Puzzle League. I mean, it was redesigned, obviously, to be a Pokemon game, but same control premise.
That was like the 64, wasn't it?
It was for the N64. It has completely different music. It's not even the same game, but it's the same. I mean, it is the same style. Same style, same gameplay, but it is a completely overworked, like, from the ground up, new version of it.
Oh, yeah.
But this is Panel de Pan / Tetris Attack, the Breeze stage, where we're playing a puzzle game in the skies. I hope you enjoy this, everyone. Thank you very much for listening to this episode. Tell some friends if you've got any people who like video game music that hey, these sky high songs will put you on cloud 9.
Yeah, send anyone our way. Our airlines are free to anyone, and the security line's not that terrible.
I hope you enjoy. I wanted to finish it off with a nice little relaxing track. So I hope you just, close your eyes and bob your head as we finish out this episode. Thank you for listening, everyone.
Thank you. Have a good one.